and we thought maybe February was going to. We thought February was probably going to be the first time we were going to see or start seeing livery launches, but McLaren surprises us, but doesn't surprise us. I got some opinions. I'm going to share them with you, see if your opinions or maybe you feel the same. Right now, as is, it sits according to the poll that you all selected or participated in. 40% of you said it was good. 20% of you said disappointed, and 40% of you said could have been better, which I'll say 60% of you feel about the same way I feel. All right. So we're going to bring this big screen. Don't want to do video right now. Wasn't even really motivated to do video. But here it is. Snapshots, McLaren's livery surprise drop. Greetings, Galacticus. I see you in the chat. First person to hit in the live chat. And to a surprise, this was not a surprise to me. I think the firing of Gunther Steiner was more wowing than the McLaren livery surprise launch. Miss Blue, what? Blue off in the chat? Where's she at? It don't even show her in the chat. What's up with that? Top chat. Let me go to something. I don't even see Blue. Blue's not even in the chat. I've been wondering where Blue is. What's going on, Blue? I'm glad to know that you here. I can't see you for some reason, but you know what else is different when we're messing with YouTube. But big shout out to Blue. First in the chat. Hope everything is well. But yeah, I'm definitely. I'll say this: the whole situation with, of course, I thought possibly since Drake dropped and everything else with Alpha, with Sauber anyway, Sauber State Kick F1, I thought they were going to drop first. I thought maybe that was going to happen, and I thought it was going to be something good. And then McLaren drops out of the blue, right out of the gate. And I got to say, I am indeed a bit concerned. I'm a bit concerned, and I'm going to tell you why I'm concerned. And maybe after I express to you my concerns, you'll have a perspective that may be a bit different. If not, say, I wonder if that may happen. This livery drop, let's not be confused, was simply a cartoon animation CGI. All right. If we recall, let's go back. Let's go back to last season, the beginning of last season. Okay. We had Haas do a livery drop. And what they did was drop a bunch of photos of their car to different outlets and let them put it out. Pretty cheap, but it's Haas. So I don't think a lot of us thought much or a lot into it. It's like, it's Haas, who cares? They could have done better, but they didn't do anything. The most non-American team on the grid. Okay. Then we had Williams. Williams comes and does pretty much this. Williams pretty much does what McLaren just did, but they did it last season, and it was like, okay. That's how it was. It was, all right, cool. Then we had AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri takes us on some montage of travel, of helicopter, container drop from the sky. Boom, we land in this auditorium. It's all about fashion and the car's there and it's over. Then, who took it the furthest of any other team, although taking it the furthest, sometimes quantity does not equal quality, we had Ferrari. And unlike any other team, Ferrari incorporated levels into their livery launch day. Big shout out to them for having fans in attendance at the track. Galactica says, I missed the blue in the McLaren. They removed it. Oh, yeah. Okay. You missed the blue. Yeah, they probably did. They did remove it. I got you. So, sorry, my apologies on that, Galacticus. So we had attendance of audience, real Formula One Ferrari fans in attendance. Big kudos to Ferrari for that. Drivers there, largely participating between the crowd, the host, big points to Ferrari for that. Then we had Ferrari do a nice montage, a nice elegant video, just a nice video shoot of the Ferrari being unveiled, going into different areas of the car. Big kudos for that. Then Ferrari takes it further than this. The biggest thing that had wowed so many of you, except for me, they did a shakedown with the car. A lot of you were impressed by the shakedown. I gotta say, Ferrari did the most of most, but they did it poorly, okay? Their timing was poor. They did things too long. And the shakedown was, although it was unlike any other team's livery launch, it wasn't wowing to me. It was cool, but it wasn't wowing. And then they followed it up with a very shaky season, a car that drastically had to be improved, that was not going to be drastically improved as it is right now, changing 90% of the components on the new car that's coming out 2024. But Ferrari did a grand scheme of livery launch. And dare I say right now, I'm a bit concerned. I'm a bit concerned by this. I think that right now what is starting to happen is a lack of care, a lack of participation, C- effort from teams starting to do these livery launches. This is a portion of the season. This is where we pop the top on a fresh, brand new green bottle of tennis balls, popping the top on that fresh soda and hearing that. This is what we're looking for to bring us into the season, the livery launches. The first glimpse of what are these cars going to look like. The first words of hearing from these drivers in a competitive sense about what they expect to see from the new season. The team principals, the engineers, packaged well, packaged in a nice amount of time, but not too long. But this is what we start to look forward to begin our season as fans, as spectators, as content creators. And this was cheap. This was cheap in my opinion. All right, it was cheap in my opinion. The car, saw other glimpses of it. I saw other angles of it in case we missed something in this. But I still wasn't wowed. I do understand McLaren is very excited and happy that they have their wind tunnel. They have their simulator. And that was heavily translated into this video. They got the wind tunnel. I mean, it even starts off with that. You see the starting of the propellers in the tunnel start to move as the season is starting to get on its way. And then in some portion, it's almost as if I can't blame McLaren. It's almost as if McLaren's livery launch last season was almost like being at a funeral for their season. The energy was low. The expectations were scattered. The motivation and just optimism was not there. So many of us said after that livery launch, they're not confident. McLaren is not confident coming into this season, and rightfully so, because the season started off rocky. That probably was my best portion right there. I think right there, seeing the orange car without any real graphics was like, what is it going to be? And then they showed us that, and I was like, that ain't really much at all. So big shout out to fam in the chat. I see Ernest Collins, Mary Beanie Galactus. But yeah, I'm starting to worry if a lot of these teams are going to do these livery launches like this. I understand McLaren didn't have the best livery launch because they didn't have the best confidence last season, but they still did a proper livery launch. Crowd in attendance, real car on stage, drivers coming out, team principal speaking. What are we going to do? Boom. Mercedes, excellent job. Diversity included. New car rolled out. Boom. Ferrari, bit long in the tooth, but gave you a shakedown. Could have done a better job. Okay. AlphaTauri, crap, really. That montage of travel dropped us into a damn fashion show. Williams, so what? Is okay, we're traveling. Are we going to the future? I don't know. Haas, bunch of random pictures dropped on several outlets. Whoop-de-doo. Aston Martin, not so bad. Lawrence Stroll taking up his time to show his face. car there. It's like, all right, whoop-de-doo, some questions from the crowd. Okay, cool. Alfa Romeo was probably one of the worst and talked like they were going to do the best, and they did none of that. All the development they talked about, where was it? So Alfa Romeo at the time, which is Sauber now, definitely didn't wow anybody. And then later on, they put out photos of a car that had a floor. We never, ever saw a variation of that floor. Alfa Romeo tricked us into thinking they were doing something so aggressive, so cutting edge, especially in the rear development of this car. We never really ever saw it. Alpine came out. Otmar almost caught an HR case by eyeing and just straight up trying to date the lady on stage. Then the car, definitely like they had, I think they had two cars there. They had the pink variation, the blue variation. Didn't mind it. I think it went a little bit long, but they had an excellent program in Racer. I thought that was very nice. A good program, stood for something, meant something. So it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad there. But if we're just going to have a bunch of teams drop videos that are CGI and graphics and are a bunch of pictures, doesn't that make coming into the season a bit lackluster? I mean, come on. They already cut testing down. We don't have 2 locations anymore. We got these 3 days. It's like they're condensing so much going in. I'm okay with a little bit of condensing, but at this point, if I see half of the teams in Formula One right now drop 1 to 2 minute montage CGI or montage actual real video footage livery launches, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. I'm going to be extremely disappointed because that is not the energy that they will probably want for us going into the season. This did not motivate me. I know McLaren did well coming out of last season. They did horrible going into last season. And now coming 2024, a lot of us want to know, are they going to carry that over? By this livery launch, I guess I could say, yeah, I guess they're not focused on all the, stuff coming in. They got a lot of other work to do. They're going to do it. They're going to come out wowing us. Maybe Lando Norris comes out first race of the season and gets his race win. Maybe Oscar Piastri comes out, as we saw them racing at the end of this video, come in, bring the season with a 1 and 2. Maybe. But if that doesn't happen, I'm looking at you like, you could have done a little bit more for us on the front end. McLaren could have done a 10-minute video interview. They could have. Galacticus. And that's my point, bro. They could have done 10 minutes. 10 minutes. They could have, and listen, it could have went just like this. They could have came in, a little bit of a small 30, 40-second montage of last season's highlighted moments, maybe even some of their down moments. Faded in to Zach Brown talking about what he's expecting this season, what we got, how we're going to move forward. And I'm excited. Brought in the drivers. Even if they had them sitting together or separate, hey, I'm competing this season. I won a sprint race last season, podiums. I'm coming for more. Lando talking about what he probably wants to get, what he's expecting. Maybe the engineer saying, listen, we've brought some new developments to this car. I think you're all going to see them progress and manifest themselves in upgrades. And then boom, head out. 2-minute video montaging of the actual car, maybe even took it out on track. That would have been excellent. Why nobody called Jay from Wolfpack to tell you how to do your livery launch? I don't know. But it could have been better than that. Because that was lightweight whack. I'm just saying, for real. It could have been better than that. I'm not even saying it had to be 10 minutes. It's just crazy. So, yeah, I hope, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I want teams to think about this. If you have a livery launch on February 14th, Valentine's Day, it better be hot. It better be smoking. And it better be early. It better be earlier than late, because if it's late and somebody is waiting on a date trying to catch your livery lunch, or at the table trying to get a peek of your livery lunch, or meanwhile in transit with their loved one or significant other trying to watch your livery lunch and it's whack, there's going to be more disappointment to be had from that. If you schedule a livery lunch on a holiday that is worldwide recognized as, you know what, I don't show you love any other time during the season. I'm going to show you love today, which is horrible. Don't do that. If you want a healthy relationship, it's not the best idea. But if that's you and you find yourself trying to catch this livery lunch and it's whack, I know you're going to feel some kind of way about these teams scheduling on a holiday. I'm keeping it straight up 100. I'm expecting to see fire, straight fire. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to rank these livery launches in order by the time they're all done. We're going to do a live video and I am going to rank them and say what I thought of the worst and what I thought of the best and what I think could be done to make it better for us as spectators and fans of the sport. Red Bull was a team last season that had a livery launch with a bullshit ass car up there that didn't show anything. And so what? It just, that livery launch was whack as hell too. It just, I'm hoping that we do have more to look forward to than this. I really do. I am not impressed by this. I lightweight didn't even want to address this, but as I said, if these teams continue to think that they're going to give us less while expecting more, they should have another thing coming. This is even swap, no swindle. Do not give me less and then ask me for more of my money, for apps, for tickets, for merch. Don't do it. And you know, I got something to say about Mercedes. Mercedes put out something. If you're in the UK, in that area, United Kingdom, congratulations to you. Mercedes is doing something where they're looking to bring people in to watch and be part of the experience of the livery launch. I just got to ask you a question, Mercedes. I just got to ask you a question. Do you think you don't have fans in America? Do you think you don't have fans in other parts of the world? Do you think that maybe it would have been good to open that up for fans? Because when you go in there, if you ain't in the United Kingdom, you just shit out of luck with Mercedes. People would like to support you, Mercedes. And with an opportunity like that, it would have been good had you opened it up to at least a couple, maybe a few opportunities for people throughout the world that support you heavily, buying your merch, doing content on you, talking about other things, buying cars, buying die-casts, buying Formula One authentic products. It would have been pretty nice to open that up, but you didn't. So I'm just saying, other teams consider that. If you're going to open it up for people to come enjoy the experience and share in an experience with your livery launch, how about you open it up to a few people in the world? Everybody that supports you doesn't live in the United Kingdom. But hey, you know, maybe too much like good, maybe too much like right, maybe too much I don't do it at all, I guess. So we will see. I'm gonna tell you like this: if these livery launches go like this is all I will be doing, I guess, because that just dropped. We'll see how it goes from here. We'll see what we're gonna get next. I don't know if anybody else is gonna try to do like a surprise drop, and if they do a surprise drop, hopefully it's better than this to give us more expectations of what is to come. OG Zilla, big shout out! Just dropped 10 Wolfpack memberships. In the chat, OG Zilla did. OG Zilla, congratulations. Thank you very much, good sir, being the best. Michael Dixon, Definition of Essence, Scott, Pure, Kirk, Thulaney, Gabriel, CDN, Jimmy, and Carrie's Gold. You just got blessed by OG Zilla. Please, people, when you have somebody that bless you, that gives to you an opportunity to be with one of the dopest community in Formula One content space or anywhere, period, follow it up with the consideration of continuing your membership. Michael Dixon, continue your membership. Definition of Essence, thank OG Zilla by continuing your membership. OG Zilla, trust me, sir. Those who do good get good. That's all I got to say, and that's all I will say. Big shout out to Derwin Hill, Obo, OG Zilla, Galacticus, Mary Beanie, everybody in the chat. Big shout out to you. McLaren dropped us a very surprise livery launch, and I was not wowed. Let's see how you all feel at the end. 33% of you said they don't care. 29% of you said they could have been done better. And 14% of you said disappointed. So if that is the case, we have a nice amount of 76% of people said that this itself was not that great. 76% of people said this is not that great. Why my message didn't go in the chat, I don't know. But let me try it again. So we will see what happens. I will be live again. We also will be live this weekend for the round 5 of the Wolfpack F1 Grudge Racing Series, where somebody is going to win all of this dope equipment, where other people are going to win merch. By the way, Galacticus, I have to get with you so we can talk about that. Round 5 is going to be in Miami. And of course, you know, round 5 USGP means we will have a quali session and a race session, and then go back to reverse grid. So it is going to be interesting. All of these races thus far have been dope. No matter how many drivers have been on track, we haven't had a boring race yet. And that's what we give you here. We give you that fire. We're going to give you that fire. So big shout out. S450 leading still in the championship standing points. Matter of fact, Derwin Hillian right now in the chat is 4th. Actually, I think those standings changed, so don't let me say that. I think Hillian's 5th in the championship standing points. Where are you in the championship standing points right now, bro? I know you're either 4th or you 5th. One of the two. Let me know where you are. I don't have the new list in front of me. This is round 3 list. So let me know where you are. But I think you are in the top 5 as it sits, even with the situation that took place on track. Derwin Hill, also one of the group of most consistent drivers to show up. And I'm going to tell you, consistency and attendance is going to be key. He is 4th or 5th. I think Racer X 210 is in 4th and you are in 5th, which are 2 very improved drivers, 2 very upstanding drivers. S450 sent a big, what's up, Sylvia Wick Kelly? Also, Sean S450 being very, the camaraderie between all of these drivers is excellent. Like, there's no animosity or hate. There has been some clamor and some shit talk I saw in the Discord chat, which is pretty entertaining as I was in recovery. So that is also fun to watch. But big shout out to you all. We're going to get out of here. We're going to see what else these teams bring. Hopefully they actually do a better job of delivery launches. Hopefully somebody comes in and actually gives us something of Ferrari-esque, more condensed, just right, with all the elements of surprise and incorporated with the fans and all that other stuff. But if not, you know, it is what it is, and then we'll judge based from here. Still waiting on Drive to Survive. We'll see what that's going to be like in a couple of months. I think that might probably drop in March, maybe February. We'll see when that's going to happen, and of course, we'll talk about that when the first episode drops, when we watch that, see what all they got and what all they did and how far off they actually are and how much dramatism went into it to just totally skew the situation. All of that good stuff is still what we have to look forward to entering the season and talk about. So you all be safe. I'm Jay from Wolfpack Performance, home of F1 Minutes, which will come back 2024, and Wolfpack F1 Grudge Racing Series. And I got the best family on the planet. Big shout out to all my wolves in the Wolves Den. All right, peace.